Whiskey fam, it is time to sit down, grab a dram, and listen to the soothing sounds of your boy Whiskey One talk some Laws whiskey. And oh my, it's been a while since we talked a little bit about Laws. So here we are. It's Sunday. We're just gonna wing it today. Didn't know quite what I wanted to review today. I just know I wanted to jump into some bottles, and lo and behold, I was like, oh, that's right. Laws came out with their American Single Malt. I didn't even talk about it recently, so let's get into it. And that's exactly what this is, folks. I want to quickly venture into some things. I want to have a discussion with you all because I think if you don't know me by now, I'm a big Laws fan. I've kind of followed their journey since early on when they were just cranking out 2- and 3-year-old whiskey. Mostly bourbon, mostly rye. And yeah, so here we go. I've been a fan since, I want to say about 2015, when my wife first started having me drink whiskey, and I was like, oh, whiskey's kind of cool. A bit different from, drinking my barrel-aged stouts, but it all fits in together. It gives me a chance to really explore tasting notes and really learn a lot about something that I had no idea had this infinite amount of possibilities, infinite number of tasting notes, all the things, right? So a friend of mine gave me a bourbon. I think it was only 2 or 3 years old, I kid you not. And it was just really good. And I thought, okay, I don't know a lot about these guys from Denver, but they're somewhat local, not New Mexican, I get it, but close enough that, okay, they're not one of the big brands that everybody else talks about. What's up with these guys and their sexy bottles? My God, these family heirloom decanters. So anyway, once I realized I like what they do, they're very consistent in making a quality product. Now it's time to get my hands on all the things. So one of the things that I landed on is this Hordeum Straight Malt. And you might notice that, okay, Hordeum, what the heck is that? So this is an ancestral grain of barley, and they get it from the Cody family farm, right? Which is somewhat close to the Denver distillery. And anyway, when I first tried it, I had all these interesting notes. I had green bean casserole. It was nutty. It was chocolatey. It was just all these different things, and I thought, damn, that is something different than I've ever tried before. And as you can see, there's levels to this, right? Eventually, they moved away from these nice metallic labels. By the way, I really loved the old school metallic labels, and if you have one, you know you got an old school gem there. But then they started getting into this more, I don't know, this more matte finish. And anyway, they started moving away from naming bottles after their heirloom grains, and this one became the Henry Road Straight Malt whiskey. Notice it's not single malt, and that's because at the time they didn't have American Single Malt as a legal category. And if you know anything about Al Laws, who's the owner, he's very much by the book, and we're going to get to that. Now we have the American Single Malt, and this is the first release of the American Single Malt labeling. And also in this same year, they came out with the Laws Mosaic American Single Malt, which has got a lot of things, and we're not going to dive into this one today, but I just wanted to show off the progression over the years. And they've made certainly bonded releases 4, 5, 6 year, and I've tried to compare them year after year. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, it is time to pop them if you got them, because I personally am very excited to talk to you guys about this one. I had a taste. It was a while ago because I had to do a little neck pour, see what my thoughts were. I liked it, of course, but I haven't had a chance to really talk to you guys about it. This is still available. I believe you can order these online. If you go to the lawswhiskeyhouse.com website, you can get your hands on them. They're also available at the distillery, and I'm pretty sure if you make your way to Colorado, you're going to come across one of their malt whiskeys or single malt whiskeys. It kind of depends how old the bottle is, right? But let's go ahead and dive right in. As you may notice, we'll do a close-up here. This has got some beautiful legs. Oh yeah, just moving slowly down the glass. It gives it a nice little lip, a little fat lip along the top there if you do a little gentle roll. If you read any of my reviews, I love talking about the legs. I think it's much more than just like tasting notes. It's about presentation, right? It's about when you're looking at this glass of whiskey, like what does it look like? You know, not just what it feels like, but what does it look like? And it's got beautiful legs, and it's leaving a lot of nice little fat beads along the glass. So let's dive into this nose, shall we? Cheers to all you guys watching, and hopefully you're drinking Law's whiskey with me. Wow, very nutty, very fruity right off the top. I get this like apple orchard note. It's got this hazelnut, a little bit of almond, fainter almond, more hazelnut, so it's chocolatey. And it's earthy too. That nose is nice. What I like about this as compared to the other ones, the older ones, is they're all grain forward. So just know that. There's a like a well, artisan. Yeah, there's like an artisan feel to it, right? Any one of these that you try, you're gonna feel like it's quality work. It's time well spent. Whatever it is that was happening, they did it right and they were patient about it. They were deliberate about it. So let's have a taste. Oh man, that's a good initial sip. And I just got to get that palate primed. Very silky. It doesn't burn. If anything, it's warming, but very, very silky. And what I mean by silky is that it goes down easy. There's nothing bitey. There's nothing sharp about this experience. This is bottled at 100 proof or 50% ABV. And yeah, I mean, that initial rush of warmth is just like hugging the palate. It's very viscous, and I like that. Even for 100 proof, it has a full mouthfeel. So let's go back into this and let's dive into these tasting notes. So over the years, this is the progression that I've seen. Less of like oak tannins, and they were soft oak tannins. They weren't sharp. So nothing that was like off-putting, but softer, earthier, more leather, more nuttier, and the chocolate and fruit level just kind of goes up. So over the years, I feel like it's gotten a little bit more refined. What I personally like about being able to buy this online is that you can pretty much get a lot of their core range stuff. This is considered part of their core range, and I believe you might even be able to get your hands on the Mosaic. I want to do a separate review of the Mosaic with Patrick because this is one of those that has lots and lots of layers to that. It's a blend of different malt whiskeys that they put together over the years, and I believe it has some older stock in there. But we're going to save that one for next time when Patrick and I get to sit down and nerd out together. So, but as far as this one, it doesn't have an age statement. Looking at the labels, I'll double check on their website. Maybe the information's there. They're really good about being fully transparent about not only their process, but the deets behind the whiskey that they make. And for whatever reason, they didn't put an age statement anywhere that I could find. So I'll be sure to put it in the description of this video, just to let you guys know what I find out. But as a NAS or non-age statement whiskey, there's nothing you need to worry about. It doesn't taste youthful. It feels very well put together. But then again, like when you're drinking Laws and you get a bottle, that's kind of what you expect. It is kind of their standard, right? They don't cut corners. It's part of their Creo. And so when it comes to this, I'm gonna have one more sip and then give you like my final thoughts. So here we go again. Cheers to all you guys watching. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this kind of, this evolved into like a cinnamon dusted apple pie with like crushed nuts, crushed hazelnuts on top. It has this chocolate hazelnut filling to it, but it's sprightly. The finish is super like easygoing. It's got this nice suede leather thing going on, this tea note. It has this earthy component. It is got this bit of a grain feel to it, a very, like I said, I'm gonna go back to this word artisanal, but it's got an artisanal like vibe to it. Personally, I like this. I feel like even though it doesn't challenge you in a way that I think the whiskey curious would really appreciate it, I think that this checks all the boxes of what you expect from a Colorado American Single Malt. For this reason, I'm going to recommend this one to the whiskey novice because it's just so easygoing. It's got all the flavors. It has what it needs to have to get your attention, and it doesn't break the bank. Like, this is a very affordable bottle, like I said, and it'll get you there. Honestly, like if you are looking for a good American Single Malt, get this, have this in your stable, compare it to others and see what you like better, but I really like what's happening here. So also, if you guys have tried any of their Laws products, especially their single malt, let me know. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, consider subscribing. You know, give this video a like. I would love to get your support. Even become a Patreon member. I would really love that. That's one of the best ways to support us because then we get to upgrade our stuff and we get to buy more beautiful bottles like this and share them with you. Also, we have a lot of tasting events that we try to put out throughout the year, and Patreons certainly get a nice little healthy discount when you do. So here at Whiskey One, always remember, it's about the one you enjoy. Cheers.